Hello adventurers, it is I, Soul's Adventure, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For today, before we dive into a Troika adventure, I did want to give some Dungeoneer shoutouts. So we have Chris John, Old School Dungeon Master, Erica Lane, Selena, Tony, Ava, Watcher DM, Ismail, Cat Slush, Patrick, Steven. Thank you all for being amazing Dungeoneers. And of course, we have our adventurers. So we have MC versus me, Blair Black, Todd, Dean, Paul, Dallas, Brad, Franks, Skycatcher Gaming, Ryan Watcher, Arcane Flame, Saga, Haiti, Spry, and Ed. Thank you for supporting all of my content outside of YouTube. And of course, our Dungeon Tubers. So for Dungeon Tubers, we have My Ear Trumpet, Patrick Healy, Johnny Moe, and Rich Gillen. Thank you all once again for the constant support and encouragement when it comes to everything that I do on this YouTube channel. So for today, we are continuing an adventure with Wyatt. So in our Troika adventure, we have here Wyatt, and he is a vengeful teen of Troika. And where we have left off is he is trying to figure out just kind of the missing pieces behind his father's death. And so he has encountered some red priests who is, that's one of the factions of Troika. And then another faction is the Lamassu Hotel. And Susan, who is the leader and owner of the Lamassu Hotel, she technically kidnapped Wyatt. But Wyatt was kind of helping the Red Priests kind of understand why the Lamassu Hotel is very successful, because there's like a lot of like tax increases and such, and there's just drama kind of going on between different factions that are part of the black market. And so the Red Priests kind of wanted some intel on their competition. So he gave the news back to the Red Priests that the Lamassu Hotel kind of holds people hostage, and they capture their memories and put it into a chip. And how they do that is they drug these people with something. I don't even know what it is, but some sort of strong drug. And when they get those memories implanted into this chip, Susan and other leaders that are kind of part of the executive team of the Lamassu Hotel, they sell that into black markets and other worlds outside of Troika. And so anyways, with all of that, Wyatt has now kind of gained the Red Priest's trust. And so the Red Priests, they were able to kind of give him the news about his dad, and that he was last seen with this strange witch dancer. And this witch dancer, she performs, or used to perform, at the Troika Theater. So right now, it is the morning, so the Troika Theater is closed at the moment, but I know that she hasn't been seen as a performer at the theater in a while. And so I think what Wyatt wants to do is kind of ask around Troika to see if he can gather any clues as to who this woman is and why she's known for dating rich and handsome celebrities of Troika. So that's kind of the weird thing about this woman. And oh, her name is Phyllis. So we have to find Phyllis, the Troikan dancer. So that is kind of the goal for Wyatt here, but he does want to ask around the area to see if anybody else kind of knows of Phyllis. So I'm going to write my notes here, kind of the next part of our story. So that was day 1. So now this is day 2. Okay. Yeah, wow, a lot has happened in day 1. Okay, so we will now begin day 2. And before we begin, I did want to say that I will be using the Fate Mill dice instead of using my Mythic GME. And so I have this little cheat sheet here if I kind of want to see if I want to adjust the the likelihood of different things. And I'm thinking if I do end up getting a maybe, no matter the dice like number roll itself, I think maybe will trigger a random event. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then depending on the likelihood of things, I'll probably just pick and choose a modifier maybe. And then I do have Sparkbound Narrative Edition by Will Notice Cave. Moses created this solo journaling RPG engine, and it's really, really cool. But I think what I'm going to do for this is I'm not actually going to use the system itself, but I do want to use some of the random tables, because I feel like the random tables are really good. So like here we have a spark result random tables, and then here a minor or major complication. So yeah, there's really cool tables that he created, and so I kind of want to see if I can use this as my random table in Oracle along with the dice here. And then I totally forgot that I have this, but I'm also thinking of using Fronds of Benevolence, and maybe use this for inspo as well, to just kind of see if maybe there's something in this book other than the core rulebook of Troika. Maybe I can kind of get some, I don't know, maybe ideas for encounters or monsters or something. So yeah. Anyways, so that is what we're going to be using, and then this is going to represent Wyatt. So it is the morning, and Wyatt, he spent the night over at the Red Priest's, I guess, lair. It's one of the Troika gang kind of like hangouts here. And so I think what he's going to do is I think I can see him wanting to try to just gather more rumors about this witch. And I think what he's going to do is I think he will probably go to maybe a historical building, or maybe look for, I don't know, maybe like old historical documents or archives or newspaper clippings or something of this Phyllis woman, the witch dancer. So she's a famous Troikan, a local dancer, and so he's thinking like, okay, well, she has to be somewhere in the news or something. And so I think, yeah, so I think what he's going to do is he's going to check out this historical building. And I want to know what about this particular building is like special, what makes it like historical, you know? So let's see. I will roll on maybe the spark table here. Okay, so we got an 8. Release. Then we have here momentum. Let's roll it again. And then we got a 16. Okay, start, and then idea. Oh, I have an idea here. I'm kind of picturing this because I'm taking the word release and then start. I'm kind of taking this as like an old prison. And maybe in this particular old prison, it was a magical prison that held some of the most dangerous Troikan like criminals. But maybe because of like how old it is and like run down, and just kind of how crime is pretty much rampant now all over Troika, I'm picturing this to be just kind of like left alone, and now it's just a building that people just pass by. So it's an old prison, and it held some crazy criminals of Troika. So maybe like famous ones, yeah. And I can see Wyatt thinking, I wonder how I can get some information in here, and he can try to break into the building. Yeah, so break into the prison, the old prison. So let's see. Since this, I kind of want to say that since this is an old building and it's no longer in use, I'd imagine that there's no more magic powers that are kind of being used to hold this place together. And so I do want to ask the Fate Mill if it is completely empty. Like if I'm imagining there's probably no Troikan prisoners in there. There's no Troika guard city knights in there. So, oh shit, we got a maybe. Okay, so we got maybe. And that would mean that it could be booby trapped, or it could have some randos in there. So I do want to see how he can try to break in. So I feel like he would want to try to find maybe like a broken window or something, or maybe there's like a hole in a fence, because I can imagine like there's a fence around the perimeter of the building. So yeah, I do want to see kind of what he sees when he's just simply looking at the building here. Okay, so we got an 8 again. So I see the word momentum. Okay, momentum. And then we got the word favor. Okay, so momentum and favor. So I can picture, for some reason, I'm thinking of the word momentum as kind of giving Wyatt here a little bit of an advantage. So I'm picturing that there are actually crates, old crates of just random shit in there that are stacked. So it's stacked high enough that he can kind of climb over the fence, and then he can simply just drop and like fall onto the other side of the fence there to enter into the property. So he sees that there are crates that are stacked high enough that he doesn't have to climb the whole fence over. And so I know with Wyatt here, he does have an advanced skill of 1. Okay, yeah, so I do want to see if he can, successfully climb over it. So let's see here. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that is right under his skill. So that was a success. So he was able to successfully climb over the fence, and now he is in the property of this old prison building. And so as he's looking at the building, he's probably seeing just how strange this building is. Like I can picture it being like a zigzaggy kind of a prison building. There's just all these different doors that lead to different parts of the prison, but it's also very confusing to navigate. So there's probably like spiral stairs that lead into different parts of the prison. Picture it being like an ever-changing kind of a building, but there is no magic involved. So there's something else at play, and that is probably going to lead into the random event. And so there's no magic is active, but I'm almost wondering if there's some sort of mechanical system that's kind of switching the floors and the rooms around. So yeah, so let's see. I wonder if this building's probably not publicly like owned by the Troikan like government, but I wonder if there's probably some sort of faction that's hiding in here. So let's see. As Wyatt enters into the main building, as Wyatt enters into the main floor, I wonder what he sees. What does he notice? Okay, so we got and 18, trust. Okay, we have the word trust, and what else? We have the word injury. Okay, so I'm taking injury as he's probably very aware and like careful of kind of what's going on to try to avoid any dangerous factions that are going to come out to attack him. And then for trust, I'm actually going to take that as the opposite. Like he feels uneasy going into this building. Okay, and now I do want to see who is this particular faction. Okay, so we got the word 10, resource. Okay, so resource, I'm actually thinking that it could be a faction that is probably working with the Lamassu Hotel. So as Wyatt is in the main floor of this historical prison building, he eyes a door, and there's like a little window in the door that he can peer and peek through, and he sees that there are groups of people kind of working in it's almost like a factory of some sort. So each person in the room is assigned a certain task, and they are building different parts of the chip that the Lamassu Hotel that Susan was telling Wyatt here. So I'm going to say it's almost like a little factory kind of a thing going on. So they are building the chip and the computer parts for the Lamassu Hotel. Okay. So it's that memory chip and then the, whatchamacallit, the computer. Okay. So seeing that they're kind of preoccupied, I think Wyatt has a chance to kind of just go around the prison and kind of see. So he's going to go down the hallway, and then he sees like an old office with a bunch of like file cabinets and such, and maybe some like old newspapers that are lying around on the tables, maybe like old files of criminals and such. And so I do want him to kind of see and search the office space. Yeah, so I do want him to kind of search the office space now. And I think what we're going to do is I don't think he has good advanced skills here. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to use aware. I'm just going to use that awareness advanced skill. So what is that? That would be a 2. Okay. So we have, what is that? 11, 13. Nope, that is way over our skill there. Okay. So that is a fail. Yeah. Okay. So at least it's not a fumble, so that's good. Okay, so this was a huge fail for him. As he's searching the file cabinets and looking at the newspapers on the table, they all seem to be current or not super old to look for Phyllis's kind of criminal history. So it's either too young, I guess. Not young. What am I thinking of? Too recent of events, and nothing seems to line up with Phyllis here. Okay, so he said, "Okay, this room is not helpful. So let's see if there is another room that he can look at." And so now I think he's going to look at a different room, and let's see what's inside the room. Okay, so we got a 6. So we have the word bond and then heal. Okay, so I'm almost thinking of like a storage room. And so in the storage room, I can see there being different types of like weapons in there, maybe some old Troika City Night Guard uniforms. And I wonder if he's able to see, maybe there's something about his dad, maybe he can find something in there. Okay, so we got total of 6, so that is equal to the skill, so that is a success. Okay, so he found something of his dad's. So what did he find that his dad owned? He probably sees like his dad's signature, or maybe the unit that he was a part of. What does he see? So we got a 14, and that is protection. So we got the word protection, so I can see it being an old uniform. Cool. So he found this old uniform of his dad's, and he's probably like clutching it close to his chest, just thinking to himself like, I will figure out what happened to you, Dad. And he's probably gonna like look through the pockets and such. And does Wyatt find anything, like maybe like an old note or an old like gadget or something that could kind of help him and lead him to the dancer? Ooh, yes, that is a yes, yes, yes. Okay, so a yes and. Okay, so not just that, but what does he find? An 8 momentum. Okay, so momentum meaning like he's getting closer to figuring out what happened. So looking in the uniform of his dad's, he sees this this paper clip from a newspaper that's kind of a, I guess I can see it being like an ad to go and watch Phyllis, the witch dancer. And he can see the date and the time, and so he's like, okay, like this is good, like we are on track of Phyllis here. But it doesn't seem to point to anything relating to her disappearance. And so, yeah, I wonder if is there any like a hidden message or something on that like newspaper clip of some sort. Ooh, yes, and so there is a hint of like a warning of some sort. Okay. And wow, okay, that is good. So he's seeing this warning, and he is thinking about how he can try to approach Phyllis and find her. So there's this warning on the newspaper clippings that she's been tied to the missing rich celebrities of Troika. So it sounds like she definitely lures men in, and she does something with these men, and they go missing. And so Wyatt is starting to piece together that she's probably the one that's like held his dad like hostage and killed him. And so I do know that with what he found at this old prison, what he found, he does want to keep that information handy and close to mind here, as he's going to see how he can approach and find Phyllis. Okay, so he's going to take the uniform, and then I do want to see if he will then, if he's able to find his way out. So I think he has a good idea. So we're going to roll. So I have to get below an 8. Okay, perfect, great. So he was able to follow the hallway and down and out of the building. Okay, and then he climbs the fence successfully, I hope. 6, and I had to get below 7. Cool. So out of building and success. So now he's back out in the streets of Troika. So he has the the newspaper clipping of a warning to be aware of Phyllis the witch dancer, because she's been linked to the missing rich celebrities of Troika. And so now I can see him wanting to look at maybe like the markets, maybe ask around at the different markets and ask like why there are these warnings to avoid Phyllis, and if there's any like stories of like what she would do to these like rich men and why she'd like kidnap them. So yeah, so I can see him just going to maybe like a food market stand, and let's see at the stand if he's able to get the attention of the stall merchant there. So let's see. Okay, so we got a 3, so yes. So Wyatt is asking the merchant if there are any rumors or stories of why she would lure these rich, famous celebrity men, very good-looking men, why she would lure them into the Troikan theater. And this merchant, let's see what he says. Okay, so we got the word 10, we got the results of 10, so protect, and then we also have resource. Okay, what else? 16, idea, start. Knowing that she is a witch dancer, I can see her being obsessed with her looks. So I can picture the merchant saying that she really wanted to keep up with her youthful, young image. And so that's why she would probably want to date all these good-looking men. So she's kind of like thinking like, hey, like I am such a beautiful lady, even if I am like old, these men still want to be with me. And they still find me gorgeous. So I can just see her wanting to try to manipulate these men. She's probably using her witch magic to make these men fall in love with her and be very infatuated with her. So having that rumor from the merchant saying that she's like obsessed with her image, we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so that's like one hint. And then maybe he goes down to the next stall, and let's see what this stall sells. So we got 4 information, and then access. Okay, and then we have free, and then we have the word open. This next merchant sells something else, and maybe has really good knowledge and history of Phyllis. So let's see, what does this merchant sell? Actually, I guess we can just roll on the nouns again. So we got 14 protection. Oh, I can picture protection and knowing Phyllis's youthfulness, maybe like protecting the skin, like maybe ooh, okay. This particular merchant, so merchant number 2 sells makeup, like maybe some like de-aging drug supplements and makeup. And this particular merchant is saying that maybe Phyllis was a consistent customer with this person. So this merchant is selling makeup, and that's something that Phyllis really liked to buy. And so this merchant is probably telling Wyatt, like, I don't think you would be interested really in these products because you are young yourself. But if you are interested in Phyllis, as you know, she used to be this famous Troikan dancer, and she had this obsession with wanting to look youthful and young, and so she loved my products. And I can see Wyatt being interested in this product and just saying like, okay, well, what is it made out of? I could see this merchant being very secretive about this particular drug and makeup ingredients. So he's probably withholding that information. This particular makeup is used by all the dancers really in Troika. And so he's probably very suspicious of this particular merchant. And so, yeah, I think with all of that information, so he has the newspaper clippings, and then he has this merchant who's telling him that this particular makeup brand, it is used by all the Troikan dancers, especially Phyllis, the witch dancer. And so now I'm almost wondering if there are other dancers of Troika that Wyatt can talk to. So that is during the day, and it's probably the afternoon now. So yeah, so I think next time, now that it's hitting the afternoon, he probably wants to talk to other Troikan dancers and ask around if they know the history of Phyllis, etc. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it off for now. So I think Wyatt is on a roll. He has all this information now to kind of piece together who Phyllis is and why she is obsessed with her looks, why she's obsessed with wanting these rich, young, youthful, handsome men in her presence. So yeah, that is where we are going to leave off the adventure. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, I would love for you to give me a like and subscribe and maybe share. Maybe there's someone who would be interested in the crazy lore and system of Troika. So yeah, that is where we are going to leave it off. So thank you so much for all the support. Until next time.